Hey, fam. Welcome to Digging Deep. I'm so excited about tonight. It's going to be amazing. I want to see who's on with us tonight. I hope y'all told everyone to check us out. We've been talking about influencing these 7 systems with new revelation and everything. And so we're talking about one of my favorite subjects tonight. I say that about all of my guests, but all of the 7 systems are impactful. So I'm excited about tonight because business is very important. And then making sure that we have our finances in order to do the things that God wants us to do is really important, but also just being able to talk about businesses in general. So let's see who's on with us tonight. Give me a shout out. We have to say I'm an influencer for this time. Hello, Elder Della. She watches us. Make sure we're doing everything good. She's an influencer. Yay, Valley Kingdom finally came on. Let's see who else is on with us tonight. It's getting a little cool in Chicago, so y'all should be in the house. But we got people all over. Hey, Ramel, how are you? How y'all doing, influencers? All of y'all are influencers, so I'm so excited about it. Those who go to Valley Kingdom Ministries, we're having our outdoor worship, so please make sure you attend and come out. We will be outside with our Valley shirts on. The weather is changing here in Chicago, so we don't know how it's going to be. So that might be our last time being able to gather together. So bring your chairs and let's just fellowship, plan a stable, have a DJ, a spiritual comedian, and a guest psalmist. And of course, we're going to have the worship and the word. So you guys make sure that you can come. I'm going to be doing a pre-show, you guys. I will be online only from 9 to 9:45 before worship starts. And I'm going to have some great things on there. So for our EFAM who are not in Chicago, you be with me online at 9 o'clock. And then we'll stream the worship live. Even if you are in Chicago, you could watch us or listen to us on the way to church. Drive. We don't want you not to be driving, but on the way to worship, you can listen to me because I'm gonna bring in some special guests. It's going to be amazing. So I'm excited about that. We got some more people coming on. Hello, Gloria Perkins. Yes, you are an influencer. I'm so excited to see you guys coming on. Well, I want to get started with the lesson because it's going to be amazing. We have the person who's over our system of business. We have 7 systems, and she's over our system of business, and she has some amazing, exciting things going on. I know I am starting a non-for-profit this year, and I'm launching out really into the deep of what God has called me to do. And so just having people in our ministry who can kind of help answer some questions is really amazing. And this topic is really important for our community because, small businesses have been affected. Businesses in general have been affected by the coronavirus. And so we hadn't had our finances together as a business. We weren't able to keep them, and some of them are closing down. And then what about those who want to start their business? If your personal finances is not together, then the purpose and dream and vision that God gave you, you may not even be able to feel like you can complete it because your own personal finances are not together. And so when we talk about everything tonight, I'm excited. So get you a pen and paper. We're going to have some calls to actions. You're going to have to do some work to get the things that God wants you to do. It's not just going to come easy. So I'm going to bring in our first guest. I am going to bring in our system of education leader. I call her Ro, but that is not her name. How you doing, bro?
Hello. Hey, Valley fam.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much, Pastor Sabrina.
I'm excited to hear what you have to share with us today.
I'm excited about this topic. This is where my heart is, and I enjoy sharing anything that I get that's related to business. It is so dear to me, and I don't mind sharing it.
All righty. It's on you then. We're ready for you.
All right. Thank you once again. Thank you, Apostle and Pastor Beverly, for this time. It is so many things that relates to business that I would like to share, but today I'm going to provide a few foundational scriptures in Proverbs, for you to keep in mind as it relates to business, which includes how we work, how we operate and run our business. Later, you will hear from a guest who will share some business tips with you. But in the meantime, I'm going to share some information with you. But I want you to keep in mind this question: how can I glorify God in my business? And this is, this information will help you to do your business homework. It's going to help you stay diligent. It's going to lead you into that path where, you want to be fair and honest about, what you're doing, and, be fair with yourself and with others, and always act as if you are being watched. That's so important. And a lot of times, we forget, once we become business owners, that we don't have a manager, but that's not true. We have to report to God. Now, this does not mean that you have to have a Christian business, although some of us may, be called to do that. But it does mean that if we apply these principles, we will receive principal results. I always refer to Oprah because we know in the past on the Oprah show, she would always give away things. And one of the things that I do know that Oprah did was she practiced the biblical principles of giving. And so we know that if you're practicing and exercising those principles, God has no, he reminds us in his word that his word will not return it to him void. So there's no reason for God not to honor his word. We all have been given a measure of faith, and we have to remember that. We must exercise that measure of faith that God gave us, which will help us to make decisions throughout the day, the weeks, and the years to come in our lives and business. Remember, everything, and I'll say it one more time, everything in the world belongs to God. Therefore, run your business as if God is the owner and you are the CEO, which means that you have been given the stewardship over that business. Now, let's take a look at a few scriptures in the book of Proverbs that speaks to business principles. But first, I want to begin with the word diligent. And the word diligent is defined as having or showing care and consciousness in one's work or duties. So in Proverbs 10, verse 4, it says, lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Here's another one. We talk about the virtuous woman. And if you read that Proverbs 31 very closely, you will see that the virtuous woman was an entrepreneur. And Proverbs 31:27, it says she watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. And what does that mean? To me, it means if you're not doing anything, don't expect anything. How about we need to practice humility? And sometimes that's the hardest for most people, is to be humble because you're the owner of it. But remember, to whom much is given, much is required. And so if we remember those words, we won't fall into what this scripture speaks to in Proverbs 11:2. When pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with humility comes wisdom. I've heard letting your pride overcome you will not get you anywhere. And eventually it will lead to disgrace and destruction of your business. I want to let you know that it's okay to make mistakes because we are all human, subject to error. But what's not okay is not admitting it or taking ownership of those mistakes. This is where we can become humble and practice that principle. How about being a giver? and not looking to be given to most of the time. All of the time, you get my drift. Because sometimes, we want something to be given to us and we're expecting things to be given to us. But we have to be that person who is the giver. Now let's look at Proverbs 11:25. And it says, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Remember, in order to be a giver, you must have to give. And trust me, God will make sure you have it to exercise his principle. Besides that, God loves a cheerful giver. You want to be an asset to those you work with or for, because again, we have to remember that we are working for our customers and who you're selling your services to. You don't want to be a burden. Go above and beyond without expecting to get. Don't sell a product or a service to someone that you won't buy. The key is to the key is to build. It's to build your business a little at a time. Sometimes we want to rush to things. We want things to happen instantly. We have that microwave concept, and we have to remember, the oven still works, and we do have a stove and refrigerator in our home. So we have to apply that. We have to have the patience. Stay away from cheating, because sometimes we get caught up because we want things so quickly. We want them yesterday. We want it because somebody else has it. Lying, stay away from it. Scams, stay away from, and especially cutting corners. God wants us to be successful. And besides, he said he gives us the power to get wealth. Our success comes from our faithfulness. God sees all and he knows all. And remember, he is the one to judge. Here are two more scriptures in Proverbs that I want you to keep in mind, which is Proverbs 16:18. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues with injustice. And Proverbs 13:11. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. So remain faithful in your business practices. It's okay to walk in boldness, but not pride. God wants us to be bold and courageous in our personal life and in business. In Proverbs 28:1, it says, the wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. There are so many areas of which we can display boldness in our business, which can start with a new and improved product that we're selling, the greatest customer service anyone can ever experience, or you can provide resources that it can only be shared from your knowledge and connections. Believe it or not, we can draw more people to Christ with our business products and our services than the oldest missionary or evangelist. We can also show our boldness by being more than a conqueror and by not walking in fear. You can also be the one to run through troops and leap over walls as you grow your business. And believe you me, you will have many hurdles, obstacles, challenges, issues, and circumstances as a business owner. And after all is said and done, we must commit our plans to God, which is found in Proverbs 16:3. Why do we need to do that? Because Jeremiah 29:11 says it best. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. I hope these foundational scriptures will help you to expand your business, to seek out God's plan, to know that He is for you. He wants to see you prosper. And I am believing in you as an entrepreneur myself. So thank you again for watching this video, but most of all for sharing it. At this time, I want to bring in our guest. Her name is Brady. Hey, Brady.
Hello. Thank you.
How are you?
I am well. Thank you for asking. That was great. You gave some good stuff. So
thank you so much.
I am ready to get
yourself, girl.
Yes, I will. My name is Brady Robinson. I'm a native of Dallas, Texas. I am a budget coach, a motivational speaker, a mother of two. Hardworking woman, just, hey, tried all these principles and a few of the tips that I'm giving you guys tonight, but just I know that I always had a calling on my life to help people with their finances. It was always my gift. I like to do it. I can help you with it. It's fun for me. And we have to be good stewards of our money, with what God blesses us with. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started. So tonight, guys, I'm speaking about small business finance. And I'll make it quick for you because I know your time is important, but I have some quick tips that I want to share with you guys. First of all, you have to identify what's your why. What's your why? We often think of our why for as our personal goals, things like that, things we want to accomplish, but you have to have that for your business as well. Now, during the pandemic, we've seen many businesses pop up. Don't we all agree? Okay. So that was a time when, oh my gosh, back is up against the wall. I have to have a plan B. I'm good at this. Let's start a business. We're going to jump in right there. Okay. Guys, have a plan A, B, and C. I'm coming straight to you off the hip from personal experience, way from Dallas. Thank you, my auntie Sabrina, for letting me do this because I got some stuff for you. So let's roll. We're going to have a plan A, B, and C, right? Okay, so everything I'm speaking on is biblical and it's things that I've tried myself. Count up the cost. Luke 14:28. You have to count up the cost, okay? So we're talking about these businesses that's popping up during the pandemic, which that's a great idea. I encourage anybody that, hey, start a business, but it's some things that go way before we open the doors and have a grand opening, right? Or we start, let's post our brand and ordering shirts, okay? That's what I did at first. I moved too fast. So I can tell you about that, but we're going to count up the cost, okay? So first of all, get rich quick schemes that's not a plan, okay? So that's not part of your A, B, and C. Susu is not a plan, okay? I'll just leave that right there. If your business has to close for 2 months, would it survive? Okay. Okay, so that's our first tip. I'm going through these quickly, guys. Make sure you drop any questions or comments. I'm sure they'll get them to me. And also remember, you can always reach out to me for a free consultation. We can talk about this stuff, but you have to have a budget for your business. So those of you that are on here that have heard me speak before, I always push budget. You have to have a budget for your business. Also, when you're starting your business, did you know that during the pandemic, 80% of the pop-up businesses started from home at their kitchen table? But guys, guess what? You have to have a separate checking and savings for your business. Do not mix your business funds with your household or your personal funds, right? So yeah, okay, that gets confusing. I have 2 accounts for my household here and this, that. You're a business person now. You got to think next level. You got to think like a business person. You cannot mix your money. I did that. Then I couldn't remember, okay, this was for this amount. And I'm very organized and detailed with my money. I write it down to I can tell you where every penny went. I mixed it. That was a huge mistake. And at the end of the month, guess what? I had to pay from my personal account. Get a separate checking and savings account. Guys, you want to start this business? I am not sleeping on your dreams. I get that. But while you're doing that, you do need to have 6 months to a year of monthly expenses. Now, we just hit this pandemic hard, right? So I'm sure everybody knows someone, maybe went through it themselves. You got caught with the door wide open. You think about, for a business, how many people do you know that had a business that had to close its doors, right? So you really want to have a year, but we're going to start taking it in baby steps. You're going to have 6 months to a year of monthly expenses saved in a separate account, right? That is not your expenditures. That's not for you to, okay, I need to buy supplies or I need to restock. Hey, I'm starting a baking business from home. I need to go out and buy some flowers. That's not what that's for. Okay, that is for if you cannot work, you are in a vegetative state, but your business still needs to go on. Somebody can pay your bills while you cannot speak. Okay, look at it like that. So you're gonna project future revenue and expenses. Now, the best way to do this is to look at your business past performance. So when I say past performance, but hey, Brady, I just started my business in the pandemic. But what were you doing before this? What were you doing in January? You didn't just say, I'm starting a business today and I'm going to learn how to bake cakes today. You've been doing this. How have you been charging? Do you have your regulars for holidays? You can always look back and go through and do an inventory of what you've been doing. Okay. How much are you spending? Do you know? Now, this is what I find with my clients. Too often, you're not writing down what you're spending because, okay, I'm at Walmart and while I'm here, oh yeah, I need some sugar or I need some more plain t-shirts because, you know, I got a t-shirt business and, oh, they on sale and you spent this out of your money and you didn't write it down because it wasn't that much. But it's not a true projection of what you're spending. So that's not really professional. And that's not going to help you for the years to come because we're not opening a business to get through this month, right? We're opening it for longevity. Also, when you go to these banks and sit down, even if you're a brand new business, they will look at your past expenditures. That's a tip, guys. Write it down. I just started my business. Well, I only sell to my church family. And I said, but do you write them receipts? Can you account for that? Because you can take that to the bank and that can be a part of your business plan. A lot of people don't know that because they do understand first time business. You don't know. Okay, so we'll move on from that. You need to know your fixed income. Your fixed cost. Your phone bills. Do you have a separate line for that? Or did you have to go out and get higher speed Wi-Fi? All of the expenditures that are coming up with your business, you need to have that log. All of this information is separate. What I'm teaching you guys tonight is to be organized. We're going to operate in excellence, right? So you're going to be professional. That's what we're going to do. So I want you to also remain humble, remain frugal. Okay. Too often we get caught up in the mindset that we have to live like I own a business and I want everybody to know. So guess what? I need to go trade in my car because this is me for real. I really want that BMW and I could go get it, but I can't afford the oil change. Count up the cost. There you go. Hey guys, I'm Brady. I keep it real. But so you just don't get caught up in the mindset of, oh, I need to look like I'm this. I need to look like that. Did you know that the average millionaire, you would never even identify them because they own the average self-made millionaire owns about 4 pair of jeans, but you go in my closet and I can't put anything else in there. Okay. So then next, guys, pay your tithes. I'm going to say that when God gave me this platform, I promise to every time I speak, I'm going to acknowledge God. I don't care if I'm speaking at a school or I'm speaking somewhere. If I'm speaking at a hotel event, I'm going to acknowledge God because I believe that you have to pay your tithes. That's biblical. Guys, you have to pay your tithes. I'm a huge believer of that. I have a huge testimony of that, of how my life went downhill when I stopped paying tithes and everything shifted. But pay your tithes, even on your business. Then pay yourself. We're going to park right here because too often we don't pay ourselves, right? My passion is in the business and I just want my business off the ground, but you have to pay yourself. What is your worth? Know your worth within your own business. Pay yourself because there may be times when you can't pay yourself and then it keeps you from getting frustrated and burnout on your dream. Okay. So pay yourself. If it's nothing but $50 from a sale that you made 400, pay yourself because it builds you up as a person. But first we're paying those tithes because I guess what? After you do that, watch those blessings flow. Watch them keep coming through. Okay, watch them keep rolling. That's what we want. We reap what we sow. Come on, it's about a season here. What are we doing? What are we harvesting, guys? So also business owners, I'm gonna tell you from personal experience, pay your taxes. Yeah. So you register your business, you got a website, you got a logo. Hey guys, this is my logo right here on my shirt. And my coach told me, yeah, you can do all that, but you better go down to the county office and register your business because until then it's not real, it's a hobby. Okay, so we're going to pay our taxes because we're trying to go completely legit, right? That's kingdom living. We're not trying to get by. We're no longer trying to hustle and scam to make it through. God has opened a door for us to have a business, and he's allowed us to birth something from inside of us to be used for his glory. So we're going to do it right, right? Okay, glad that you all agree. Also next, and I'm going to wrap it up around this one, but this one here is really impactful. I love stats. I love numbers. I love money. I'm not good at math, ironically, but I love money. I don't play about my money. I can count your money before you even open your purse. That's just me. I love money, okay? Hey, so that's why I have to be careful to keep it intact so the love of money don't outgrow of what I'm supposed to do. So I operate with stats. I love stats because with my coaching clients, they range from all incomes. I have a single parent, single mother, she's a waitress. I mean, we have different ones from $20,000 a year all the way up to six figures. I have clients who make 5 times more than I do because guess what, guys? It's not an income problem. It's a behavioral problem, right? So this translates for your business as well, okay? So everything I'm giving, this is for your business. So what you want to do your research. What is your business? Okay, so even if you open up a detail shop or something, I'm thinking of things that I researched that were most popular during the pandemic. What are these other businesses grossing? Okay, what does it take to run that business? You need to know your numbers, know your outcome, know your income. Every dollar should be accounted for. Guys, do you know that 50% of small businesses survive 5 years or more? 50%. Okay, so there's a 50-50 chance. Did you know that minorities own 45% of small businesses? Let's get that number up there, guys. Come on now, let's get the numbers up. Did you know that 61% of small businesses invest in social media marketing? That's hard for me, and I know that's an area that I struggle with because I just don't want to do the social media because I'm so busy with everything else. But here's some tips, guys. Thank me later or cash out me later. Hey, whichever you choose. But listen, let me tell you what we did. I am an active board member of a nonprofit organization, and what we do, we reach out to the churches and we find interns or college students that are majoring in social media. Didn't even know that was a degree. E-commerce, internet marketing. And what you do is, because you're a business, and some of you guys that are watching are nonprofit, now you can do they need community service hours? So what we do, we went to a couple of the colleges here, a couple of the large churches here, Potter's House, Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. You guys may have heard of them. And we put a posting up, and who needs some community service hours? Because guess what? The millennials know how to do it. Get them on your team, help them. They need it. They can teach you. And that's a way for you to cut overhead and cut costs. That's a whole salary that you don't have to do. But at the same time, it's quid pro quo. They're getting their community service hours, right? Okay, God bless me to, okay, 1 year I had to intern and that was great. But guess what? I need a little bit more. I prayed about it, sowed a seed about it. I was able to hire a college student to come to my home for 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. We agreed on, hey, what do you need? What you doing? I'm just trying to save some money to go back to school. I can pay you $25 an hour. That's pretty good, right? Home from college. I pay you $25 an hour to come. And for those 2 hours, I need you to do all emails, all social media. I need you to hit my Facebook page, my Instagram, everything. Guys, that is what you call investing in your business, right? So you cannot do it all. And as a small business owner, we may not have the staff. We don't even have the time. We're stretched thin because a lot of us are still having to work while we birth our business, right? So look at, and that's blessing someone else. Now that college student or even a high school student who you have in your church that's always on their phone, that's always on Facebook or always on Instagram, hey, guide them, groom them. That's experience they can put on their resume now. They work, they had a summer job, they volunteer. Okay, next, I told you 61% of small businesses invest in the social media marketing. We talked about that. I just have a few more because I believe my time is up, but 73% of small business owners are male. Now, I'm throwing these numbers out here, and this information, it did come from 99firms.com. I like them. They give a lot of information, and it's true, and it's up to date. It's current. I just thought these facts would be kind of fun to make you think a different way, because usually as a business owner, we're thinking of the money, money, money. If you can go into it with a wealth mentality, you will last longer. So you have to see what's working in your favor. Okay, so hey, if you're a male and you're watching this right now, you have favor right there. But guess what? I'm that female that's, you know what, I got to get those numbers up. So that challenges me. So it's a win-win for everybody. The thing about it is you have to push yourself. Your business, you're not going to want to do it some days. You're not going to want to do it, but it's not an option. How bad do you want it? But I'm sure, guys, you can tell I'm a motivational speaker and I push you really hard as a coach. But I just like these stats and I wanted to share those with you. Also, did you know that 1 in 12 businesses close every year? So guess what? If we have 50 people on here right now, think about that. 1 in 12 is going to go out of business. Okay. So guys, with your small business, with your finances, beware of going to get a bunch of small business loans. Please beware of that. You can do it. Use your brain. God gave you this idea, right? He gave you this purpose. He gave you this gift, this talent. You don't think he can fund it? I'm just asking. You don't think he can fund it? Because really, think about it. If it's something that's a burning desire you've always wanted to do, you have an opportunity to have a platform. It's going to be taken care of, but you have to slow down, think, and remain level-headed. Don't gather up a bunch of debt. Write your plan out. Reach out for resources. Somebody knows how to do what you need to know how to do. Okay. And guys, that's pretty much my time. I just had a few more tips. The 64% of the small businesses do have a website. And here's a good one. The average amount of startup capital required for a small business is $10,000 or less. So guys, go save your money, 5,000, 10,000, and start your business. It's your girl, Brady Robinson from Robinson Empowerment Group. You can reach me on all social media under Robinson Empowerment Group and call today to get a free consultation. And thank you guys for this opportunity.
Yay! You guys had so much good stuff on there. You had some great stuff. I want you guys to put your questions in. I am looking on the screen for your questions. I'm going to start it off just a little bit because you guys just shared some great information. What I like what you said, Ro, was build your business a little at a time. Because I know sometimes often people, when they get a business idea, they want to go from inside their kitchen table to the storefront. Right. Yeah. And get in debt and all that stuff. So can you just elaborate a little bit more about that, about having patience and just working your way through? Because it really goes with some of the things that Brady talked about is we get in debt that way because we try to rush the product and we haven't really thought about it. So can you just go over there a little bit?
Maybe I can explain it just a little bit better this way. Keep in mind that your small business in your home is tax deductible. And that's what we're about.
Yeah. Absolutely. Brady is like, yes, absolutely. And Brady, you shared a lot with us, a lot of nuggets. And you know, I love when you just share because you just keep it so real. That's what LaTiffany said. She said, I like her. She's dope. Can I have her email? And I said, yes, I'll make sure she get her email. What you talked about was so awesome, all those different stats, because during this coronavirus season, I know a lot of people who are starting businesses and they'll call me up and say, hey, can you help me with my social media page? Can you help me with my website? I'm trying to do this to this. And then they want to give me like $100. No, you're not ready.
You're not ready.
You're not ready if you won't pay.
Absolutely. Right. And don't sell yourself short, because that's a service that you can offer. Don't sell yourself short. So to the business owner that do not have it to pay, know that you don't have it to pay. Get you a college intern. Everybody's working from home. All of my friends' kids, they didn't even go back to school. I'm so glad about that, because I was like, boom, I need you. We can do this virtually. They need community service hours. You want to give her $100, give it to the teenager that needs a part-time job after school. But yes. Sabrina knows her worth.
Yeah. And it's okay if you can't have a Sabrina. You get a college student and you're working up till you get to your level. And I think that we need to know that. Another thing, Ro, because you talked about just having integrity. I know a lot of times, and I hate to say it like this, but church people and African Americans, I really want to do business with us, especially in this time in the season, but I feel like the service, like the lack of service and commitment to just being excellent is not always there. So both of you, Rhoda and Brady, can y'all just elaborate on how important it is for us to just really in this time and season always have great customer service, know your product, and just know how to treat the customer?
One of the things that I look at even as an entrepreneur, I always think about, is this something that I will want to receive?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you have a product or a service that you are selling, is it worth your money? Is it worth your time? And if it's not, then I'm not going to give you my money if I'm not going to get the product that I'm looking for. And especially if it's something that you need long term. So why invest, in this product that's going to fall apart, in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So you have to think about the long term.
Yeah. Brady.
Okay, yeah, that's true. You do have to. I agree with you, Rhoda. You do have to think of the long term, but I agree with you, Sabrina. The service, that's what does it. And you're absolutely correct. True story. I went to my friend's birthday today. I went to go get her a massage. She's been on a lot of stress. Called this guy 3 times. He's African American, did not return my call. Text said I'm in a session, never call back. I called this other company, Asian. Boom, they booked me same day. She said, you don't have enough cash, pay half cash, half card. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Because I was like, well, let me go back. I got to leave and go to the ATM. But she was not finna let my money walk out that door.
Yeah.
And she was very polite. It was a pleasant environment, everything. But we need to learn the service. So I think that it's important that if we struggle in that area, first of all, be open for constructive criticism or growth. And it wouldn't hurt, take some classes on how, because first of all, we lack accountability. So we'll have a sign on the door 8 to 5 and we don't get there to 9.
Right.
And it's us, and that's not good. And then we wonder why we close down first. I just gave you the numbers. We close down first. I'll just be, if you say you're going to do something, do it. If they email you, return it. I had to set myself on code this week because I that's a struggle for me. You need to respond within 24 hours, no ifs, ands, buts about it.
Right. Yeah.
So I think we do need to just pay more attention to the service, and I think our businesses will last longer.
Yeah, because we'll perfect the gift, but we won't perfect the business part of it. So that's really good. You have a question for our audience. As a non-for-profit business owner, do you have any tips on raising funds for your non-for-profit?
Okay, I can speak to that. One thing that you have to understand with being a nonprofit organization, if you are seeking grant money, you have to prove to this philanthropist that your business will still be able to function with or without their money.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you have done the service or have the product that you are looking to seek their funding for. You can't just say, oh, I need money for this X, Y, and Z idea, which you have not even put to use yet. They're not going to give you the money. You have to prove to them that it's going to be a doable thing. Because at the end of that term, whether it's a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever the life of that grant is, you still have to be able to function after that. Because what are you going to do when the money's not there? You have to think about that in the beginning.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And I serve on a board and I'm secretary board. So I see the numbers. She is absolutely correct. The people think, oh, I'm just going to get a grant. It's not that easy. It's very hard to get the grants. They go through it with a fine tooth comb. It's best if you have someone that specializes in that area to walk you through it. But they want to see, what do you have in your account right now? What did your nonprofit have in their account this time last year? Because I don't want your nonprofit to survive just because I'm donating.
Yeah.
Also, you guys, I told you I love stats. The average donor gives 5 to 8 years in a row. Then after that, they're ready to change course. So what that means is they've given to me 5 years. Okay, let's go ahead and get a Sabrina now. However, with the pandemic, guys, things are changing and people's heartstrings are being pulled. That's why I believe this pandemic is a God thing. Now, faithful donors, they're moving their money around to areas of need. So what are you offering? What's your service? Don't just bank on that one donor.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, you have another question. What is a good way to market your brand? They're thinking about being a walking billboard, meaning wearing their t-shirts with their logos on it, etc.
I'll start first, Brady. One of the things with, your brand, it doesn't take a whole lot to market yourself. If you find one good person that you have sold that product or service to, they're going to market it for you. And again, you can have a t-shirt, you can have a pen, you can have business cards, but if your service and the product you are selling does not match the brand, it's still not going to, what are you going to get from that?
Yeah. Brady?
That's true. I agree with that. And also, when I say building your brand, I think consistency. I agree with her. You don't need to be everything. You know what I'm saying? I can't be RAG down. You know what I'm saying? I got the shirt on, the bracelet. That's just a little much. You know what I'm saying? But actually, if you believe in your product, it will sell itself. So it will sell itself. Guys, remember, this is our gift. This is our destiny. This is what we're supposed to do. So what he said, he'll make room for your gift. So you don't have to, we still hustle and grind, but those days are over where we can actually walk in our purpose. And I believe the doors will be open and things will open up to you. But I say be consistent and be true to your brand. Stay on the course. A lot of people have a brand. There's so many things under it. I'm confused. Be consistent.
Yep. Be consistent. Good job. Tiffany says, if you're not registered with the state as a business, but you have an EIN, do you still need to file your taxes even if you're not selling products? I guess what's your business then, Tiffany? Right. Not because you could be doing motivational speaking, you could be doing different kinds of services. So if you're getting money for that, the government won't know. Right.
That's true. And I started that way. And it didn't last long because as the business grew. So what I had to do, and I always back myself with, make sure you talk to a tax professional, but start with that. But you have to write off, you can account for it. You can still add it as you like a part-time job. You can do that. But once you start making you want to go ahead and get it registered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me speak to that for just 1 second. When it comes to having a business, just as a sole proprietor, you can file taxes on that if you have spent money, to start the business or, the service or products that you are providing. So there is a place on your tax return, which is called a Schedule C, that you will file. But again, your tax consultant can help you with that.
Absolutely. Can you talk about having a team? And when do you know you need a team? Because I know so many people, like you said, Brady, are working a full-time job and trying to do the business and get it together. But you don't need an elaborate team because you can't manage them and do your job and do the business. So can you just talk about how important is a team and what levels do you start building the team up as?
Just like Jesus did, meet them where they are, and start where you are. And also your team, your levels of team is gonna change with your season and as your business change and grow. So for me, I started out with, my team was my village, simply accountability people. So I had one friend, hey, send me a text every day, remind me to make a post, till I learned how to schedule my post. So I started right there. Then I had another person was like, hey, I got a speaking engagement. She was like, okay. She became my bookkeeper, like my booking my events. So the team just kind of started right there with the people in your circle that's interested in what you're doing. But you got to remember, they're like camaraderies. At the end of the day, they have their own thing going too. So that's why I say your team will change. It'll change and it'll grow. I didn't need a financial, an accountant then, but I need one now. So your team changes, but build your team. Start with who you are. But guys, don't expect your family to support you 100 like that. So look at your friends, look at somebody that's good in something that they're doing that can teach you, and build your team from those around you.
Yep, absolutely. This is the last question we're going to take. What's a good educational program that we can implement to assist new business owners? Well, you know the system of business. We're going to be doing some of that stuff. But why won't you start with that? And then we break.
Okay. Yes. Again, we are going to be coming soon. How to start a business. The key to starting a business is your business plan. You have to have a business plan no matter what. And it can start with you writing it on a piece of paper and putting it in a binder and holding yourself accountable for it, because we need to be responsible for what it is that we are selling or the services that we're providing to people. And that plan will keep you in order and keep you organized to do what you need to do. And sometimes we struggle with that because we don't think that we need a plan, but you need a plan. I mean, God says, I know the plan that he has for us. And in order to get that plan, we have to go and sit at his feet. So we need to know what it is that we want to do and how to do it. That's what a business plan teaches you.
Yeah. Brady.
That's good. For me, I do agree with that. She has been hitting it all night. Business plan, because what I found, you can't even walk into a lot of these professional places and ask for different resources or guidance, and they ask to see your business. It's just like a resume. They ask for that, and I didn't know. So start with that, but educate yourself. Read. Okay, so if whatever you're into, you need to study everything about it. Guys, we are in an era where so much content is free. Jump on YouTube, Google, if you can't afford to actually go take a business planning class or something like that, but you can educate yourself. Remember, it's what you put into it. Right. So you start where you are, because I'm always going to come at you where, hey, it's a lower cost, because we're new starting businesses. We're spending way too much up front. So I'm always give you the tips where you can go free. Just like Rose said, have a business plan. You can write that out. If you don't know how, Google it. There's templates for it. It's templates for it on Excel, things like that. So educate yourself as your business grow. Remember, I keep saying this word seasons. As your seasons change, then you'll move to be able to, okay, I can get a higher level of this. I can get somebody to come in and teach me this. So start where you are and educate yourself.
Yep, and that answers Della's question, because she was saying, is a business plan static or evolving? But it's always evolving as your business.
It changes.
I'm so happy about that. EFAM, guess what? We are going to be having classes. I believe Brady is going to come in and teach some of those classes. So her and Ro will be talking about that. But in the meantime, we have people who want your information. So can you please tell them, Brady, how they can contact you?
Yes, you can contact me. Guys, my phone number is 214-200-6549. You can reach me on Facebook or Instagram, Robinson, Robinson Empowerment Group. It's all together. You can email me at robinsonempowermentgroup@gmail.com. Guys, you owe it to yourself to get a free consultation. It's free. What's there to lose? It's your money. Let's take care of it.
Exactly. And I know how to get in contact with her. So if you didn't write any of that down, put that down. And I will make sure you get it. But when we have these classes and Ro puts them together and Brady comes on and teach them, the problem is you have to come to the classes. Like, you have to do your part. If we put the classes together, you have to register for the class and be a part of it so that we can change our financial situation. Stop waiting for New Year's Eve to come and say this year is going to be better and you ain't did nothing to make it better. Okay? I love y'all. That's what love. Okay. Thank you, ladies. I so appreciate both of you all. You are amazing.
Thank you.
This was great. Thank you for the opportunity. I enjoyed this.
I know. I love you. We come on here. Thank you, Ro.
You're welcome. Thank you, Pastor.
All right. You guys have a good night. All right. Bye. All righty, EFAM. That was so amazing. Look, the systems, we are called to be influencers, and we can't do anything unless we start getting emotion. If you know you are part of the system of business, you need to contact Ro at rhenry@bkmi.org and make sure that you get connected. If you're a business owner and you have concepts and ideas, you could have been one of these people on here just sharing the content. We need to connect and get with each other. You know, what are you experiencing? What What services have you found helpful? What budget techniques do you use? How do you start a non-for-profit? You can educate those who just trying to get in business. If you have a non-for-profit, share your wisdom. We need to make sure that we're connecting. Apostle is talking about this on NAN. He's talking about these 7 systems on NAN, and now we need to do the action part of it. It makes no difference if we come on here and keep talking about it and we don't do anything about it. So if you are part of the system of business, contact rhenry@bkmi.org. If you want that free consultation with Brady, make sure you contact her as well. But let me tell you what your first step is, because we've been talking about kingdom principles. And the first thing you have to do is make sure you're part of the kingdom. So you have to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior so he can download that vision with us. He gave everybody purpose, but will we hear clearly from him on how to make that purpose come to life? And so what I need for you to do, if you want to give your life to Christ, all you got to say is, God, I believe that you sent your son, Jesus Christ, down here for me. I believe he died for my sins, and I believe he rose on the 3rd day. And if you say that honestly, guess what? You are part of the kingdom. If you did that for the very first time, fill out those connection cards in the link. If you don't have a church home, guess what, eFam? You got a home right here with Valley Kingdom Ministries. You too can fill out those connection cards and make this the place where you worship with us. You know, our Apostle H. Daniel Wilson and Pastor Beverly LaJoyce Wilson, they are great senior leaders, and they teach us that we worship the word and the works, and that we worship God, we hear his word, but then we go out and do the works. And this is what it's all about. The 7 systems is us make sure the kingdom of the world become the kingdom of our Lord and Jesus Savior. And we need to be on these systems. So I'm really excited about this series. We'll be back next week. Influencer, that's what you are, eFam. You are an influencer, and we love you. We'll see you on Sunday for the Valley Experience. Have a blessed and great day. Night. It's nighttime, huh? Good night.